Jesus coming into the world was to teach us what it means to be wise. And I'm not sure how you define wisdom. I've heard definitions of foolishness. Things like insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. Or, as Hugh Park said, I've made a fool out of myself many times trying to prove I wasn't an idiot. Or this little slide on screen, the nappies, the diapers. Oh, Matt, you put the clean diapers in with the dirty diapers. And Matt says, listen, I'm tired, I've had no sleep, and mistakes are going to happen. Or this next one. It has the caption, I don't know if you can see the caption, so this is happening right outside my house, someone wrote. A little trampoline going for a drive. Or this next one, why women live longer than men, was the caption with it. Or the next one, in case of fire, exit before tweeting about it, texting about it, Facebooking about it, any of those things. And the next one, I mean, here is a piece of dealing with our foolishness when it comes to phones. You're 4 times more likely to have a road accident when you're on the mobile phone, but try reading that with it. It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at the same time, woven in there. Saturday after Thanksgiving, my wife and I and son and fiance were going down to Alexandria to meet my parents, where my daughter and her boyfriend were coming up from his parents, and we were all going to meet in Alexandria. And my son was going to get his fiance, and they were going to ride down with us, and they were running a little late. Now, my frontal lobes were on a coffee break or something. I don't know exactly where they were. But my mouth began to speak to my wife. I didn't notice she was a woman. That's a problem right there. And I began to say to her, I said, I imagine his fiance is running a little late. It takes women longer usually. I just finished that sentence, and my frontal lobes came back from coffee break, and they switched on this little switch. And I noticed my wife was a woman, and it dawned on me I had not heard the end of this one. And sure enough, my wife told my son's fiance what I had said. They both told my mom what I had said. And when my son and his fiance got to the front door so we could go for the ride down together, he said, Dad, I'm sorry we're late. I was in the middle of something, not paying attention to the time. And truth is, I know my wife and I have been late for that same reason sometimes, where I'm in the middle of something. Or I have this habit of having to circle back sometimes to check if I closed the garage door. So we'll get a few blocks. And then I have this compulsion to go back and see if I pushed the button and the garage door went down, didn't come back up. Oh, we've been late, and it's been my fault too. Foolishness. Wisdom. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. It seems wisdom has something to do with looking at what we're doing and being willing to change it. In fact, wisdom is sometimes being willing to work on that same change again and again and again. And check in how we're doing with that change and work on it yet some more. Because change seldom happens all at once. We all know someone who has trouble changing. And we see that someone in the mirror every morning. The wise ones, they meet King Herod and his entourage, all the trappings of royalty and power. And the wise ones meet Mary and Joseph and all the trappings of ordinary peasants. And immediately the wise ones have to change, have to redefine what royalty is. They've been asked, ordered to return to King but an angel in green begs them not to go back that way, to go on a different road, and they pull out a new map. They start traveling home by night, a different way, and they keep making that choice over and over again with every footstep they take in the direction that is risking their lives. But they're wise ones. The ones who left their homes and businesses at a moment's notice because they felt like a positive change was coming into the world that would transform things. And they give their gifts to this little boy and his family, knowing they may never see him again, but knowing change is afoot, and they want to be part of it. If nothing ever changed, the next slide, there'd be no butterflies. How change-ready is that person you meet in the mirror every morning? As we face replacing the church boiler, how ready is that person in the mirror to change giving habits, even? If the resources are there to find a way to give extra toward replacing that boiler while still supporting the ministries of the church, so that this church can adapt and overcome. As we face perhaps a child entering the next stage of his or her life, as we face personal limitations that come with age or illness, or as we face new freedoms that come with retirement or an empty nest or a first full-time job, how willing are we to change the person that we see in the mirror? As this Healthy Church initiative process that we're in progresses, at some point, we'll be asked to make some changes, asked if we'll go along with the changes, and I don't know what they are, or will be. It might be adding another service. It might be adding drums and guitars up front. It might be having some Wednesday evening programming for families that would make noise over there while the choir and bell choir practice over here. Are we ready for whatever the changes might be? To draw in people in their 20s and 30s and meet their needs. The wise ones found Jesus. They offered their gifts. Non-Jewish people, non-religious people, we might say. And they're the first ones to start supporting the ministry of Jesus. Even without having heard the mission statement, they are willing to step up and support it, and to leave for their own land. Different people walking on a different road. Next slide, please. Yesterday, I was clever and wanted to change the world. Today, I am wise, so I am changing myself. Jesus offers peace, hope, love, joy, everything those Advent candles stood for. They're his gifts to us. A sense of God's continual presence walking with us is his gift offered to us. A new lease on life that makes each day richer and fuller and more things filled is the gift Jesus offers us. But there's a catch. Those gifts come. That blessed experience of life on earth as it is in heaven comes when we ask Jesus to help us walk in new ways on new roads. Next slide, please. The gifts come when we say, Jesus, change us. Whatever it is I think I know, whatever it is that gets into my mind and distracts me or worries me, whatever aggravates me or gets my goat, don't change that, Jesus. Please change me so I can respond with the heart of Jesus to all of life.